You had mentioned people looking for Facebook groups to join and then provide value in those Facebook groups. What about for personal injury or criminal defense? Where should they look? What should they look for?
Yeah. So what I always tell people is don't focus on the specific type of case. So don't focus on a specific type of like crime, for example, or a specific type of injury. Focus on a specific type of person. And that is how you can figure out like, okay, who's my ideal client and what is it that they want? Like that's so much of like this game is figuring out like who is my ideal client and what do they want? What are they trying? What do they want? What are they afraid of? What do they want to avoid at all costs? All that type of stuff. And that's, and then basically using that information that really should shape all of your marketing moving forward. I mean, like, for example, I literally do that exact same thing. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I have a book. It's called How to Get More Law Firm Clients Without Losing Time and Money or Getting Screwed by a Marketing Company. So it's literally, I figured out lawyers want more clients and they want to avoid losing time. They want to avoid losing money. And so many lawyers out there have a story or many stories about getting screwed by a marketing company. So I literally just made that my title, and that's the message that I use with everything. So when you think about the client and you think about him as kind of like a real person, and I always think I don't like when people say, oh, find your avatar and what TV shows do they watch and all that type of stuff. That's a little extreme, but if you can at least figure out a basic demographic, and then you can figure out like, and honestly, it can be like, so for example, if you're targeting, like, I always talk about parents of teen drivers. That's always a really good one. So then you can go into parenting groups and you can, if you're if you're a personal injury attorney, you can go into motorcycle riders groups, like bikers groups and different things like that. And just anywhere that you can think about where your ideal clients are hanging out and just provide value. Now, where you're going to get in trouble and where you have to be very careful is don't just go in and start spamming the group. You got to actually provide value. That's the most important thing, is just provide value. Just don't do sales pitches. Don't do anything like that. That's kind of my thought. You just have to think about where are they hanging out,
Yeah. And also align it with your own interests. I mean, cause that's sort of how you have it in, right? So, I know a bunch of attorneys that they do what you say, but they are motorcycle riders. So they'll go into these biker groups and be like, hey, like, here's my retro Harley Davidson, or here's my old Indian, or here's my brand new Yamaha or my Suzuki or whatever. And they participate in these groups, and then they let it be known that, like, oh, if you're ever like in trouble, you should call me, or if you get road rash or this or that, or if somebody ran you off the road. But that could be for like even like hobbyists who drive old cars. Like maybe you're just really into old cars and you just get into the group that way and you're dealing with car accidents that way. But for personal injury, there's a ton of stuff where you could spin it and align it with your own interests.
Yeah. And just make sure you set your personal profile up as that, I call it a profile funnel. And if you look at mine, just go to my profile, Andy Stickel, and you'll see on my description, it's just, I help lawyers get more clients, or I help law firms get more clients, or something like that. How about jail mail? Jail mail, you should do lumpy mailers. Lumpy, put a green army man in there and send it with all of your stuff. That way, the hardest part is getting it open. So if you have something lumpy in there, I dare them not to open it.